right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into your Valley News Now afternoon update. I'm Devin Fry, bringing you the very latest that we've been working on in the Valley News Live newsroom today and beyond. We have a lot to get to today. First things first, I do want to mention Russ Thomas was just in here breaking down some severe thunderstorm warnings in our area. We're going to have our weather graphic up at the bottom of your screen here momentarily that will have the current weather conditions in your area. However, for these alerts, make sure to check out the VNL weather app for the very latest on what we can expect for these weather conditions, and our weather team is going to be popping in here throughout the night as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Now let's get into our headlines today. We have some headlines from across our region. Vandalized vehicle, downtown Moorhead restaurant closing, a popular one at that, a false kidnapping report, a familiar face taking on a new role, and a former prosecutor facing some serious charges. We're going to bring you these stories as we've been reporting them as across our digital platforms today. So for right, let's go ahead and dive right into it. These are our top stories here on Valley News Now. It would probably help if we had audio on that one. Let's go to our next one. We'll start with this one, an update on Mayor Tim Mahoney stepping back into the public light. 4 people, including a former Anoka County prosecutor, are facing a combined 104 felony charges after allegedly running a massive sex trafficking operation out of the Twin Cities suburbs. For your Valley News Now digital update, I'm Devin Fry. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty and the Minnesota BCA announced the charges Monday. The defendants, Frank Reeves, Victoria Komenash, Catherine Tomes, and Andrea Sampson, each faced 26 felony counts for promoting sex trafficking and receiving profits. Investigators say the operation ran across Minneapolis, Bloomington, Eden Prairie, and St. Louis Park, harming at least 13 identified victims, while Tomes ran an online sex ad website and Sampson used her position to set up locations and maintain shell companies. Sampson was employed as a prosecutor with the Anoka County Attorney's Office when the investigation began. Officials say she worked her last day on March 9th, 2026. Investigators say that victims faced intense intimidation, including being threatened with firearms. The investigation is still ongoing as prosecutors believe there are still more victims. For your Valley News Now.
Anna with Valley News Live here. I'm at Rustica in downtown Moorhead, well-known spot that's getting ready to serve its last meals. After 12 years in business, the owners say Rustica will close at the end of August. They posted the announcement on social media, calling it the end of a chapter. The husband and wife team behind the business said they've decided not to renew their lease in the historic Kassenborg building, where they've spent the last 7 years. In their message, they say they're incredibly grateful for every guest who has shared a meal or milestone here. They also thank their staff for their years of hard work. The final day of service is set for Saturday, August 29th. Until then, the owners say their menu will gradually change as they wind down operations and to follow their social media pages for further updates. I reached out to the owners for more information, but haven't yet heard back. In Moorhead, Anna Ballweber, Valley News Live.
4 people, including a former Anoka County prosecutor, are facing a combined 100. We heard that one already. As you know, marred with technical issues on this right now, folks. Sorry about that. It is a live stream. Be sure to check out our social media platforms and our website, valleynewslive.com, for the latest on these stories, and we'll get everything sorted out here. Now, into our other stories that we have across the region today. A Perham man is facing multiple felony charges after leading deputies on a high-speed chase through Detroit Lakes in a stolen SUV. Prosecutors say 37-year-old Cody Wilson was behind the wheel of a stolen 97 Chevy when a license plate reader flagged the vehicle as stolen out of Fargo on August 12th. According to charging documents, Wilson was speeding through Detroit Lakes at about 70 miles an hour on Highway 10 before continuing onto rural roads. Deputies eventually used a pit maneuver near County Highway 11 to stop the SUV after Wilson drove westbound in the eastbound lane of Highway 10. The complaint says Wilson initially refused commands before officers pulled him from the vehicle and took him into custody. He admitted to using methamphetamine, and deputies say they found ripped plastic baggies, roughly 7 grams of suspected meth, and several needles inside the SUV as well. Wilson's charged with felony fleeing a peace officer, 5th-degree drug possession, and felony possession of stolen property. It's not Wilson's first run-in with law enforcement this year. He was previously taken into custody after a separate high-speed chase ended with a pit maneuver in Audubon. Another court filing out of Lakes Country today. A man charged in connection with a June assault on a Detroit Lakes bank employee is now in Becker County custody and made his first appearance earlier this morning. Jose Bowler Pena faces felony charges of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon and threats of violence in Becker County District Court. According to a criminal complaint, the attack happened around 12:19 p.m. on June 12th at Midwest Bank on Highway 10 east of Detroit Lakes. A bank employee told police she was sitting in her vehicle during her lunch break when a masked man appeared at her car door, covered her mouth, and pointed a handgun at her. He gestured for her to move to the passenger seat before fleeing into nearby woods when a coworker heard her screaming. Investigators used surveillance footage and license plate reader data to link a gray Mazda 3 to the scene, then connected the vehicle to Bowler Pena, who had recently worked at a local dairy farm, cashed a paycheck at that same bank earlier that morning. Detectives tracked his vehicle and cell phone south through Kansas and into Texas, where Homeland Security investigations and Houston law enforcement detained him back in June. He's now been transferred and booked into the Becker County Jail. Backpack found in his vehicle at the time contained dark clothing, a full face mask, black gloves, a knife, and duct tape, all consistent with the victim's description of the attacker. This is going to be a shorter update for you folks tonight. We'll let the weather folks have most control of our digital desk here as these severe storm warnings continue to pop up in parts of our viewing area. Plus, I'm running into all kinds of technical issues down here. So we are going to leave that be for now. And thank you all for tuning in for this Valley News Now afternoon update. We'll see you next time when everything's working for me. But for now, for your Valley News Now digital update, I'm Devin Fry.